Imagine a creature that can grow old and then grow young again. A living organism that, instead of dying, can reverse its own aging process. It sounds like science fiction. It's not. It's real. It's small. And it's floating quietly somewhere out in the ocean right now, completely unbothered by the concept of time. This creature is the immortal jellyfish, scientifically known as Turritopsis dohrnii. While humans invest billions into longevity research, this creature has been quietly solving the problem for millions of years. And yet, most of us have never even heard of it. It exists almost invisibly, redefining life and death while we scroll through social media, hoping the next post will make us feel younger. Now, before we dive into the biological details, let's set the stage. Every known multicellular organism, from humans to trees to whales, follows the same predictable pattern: birth, growth, reproduction, decline, and death. It's a cycle so universal that we've built entire philosophies, religions, and scientific disciplines around it. We've tried to understand it. We've tried to accept it. We've even tried, in subtle ways, to circumvent it. It is the first known organism capable of reverting its life cycle indefinitely, potentially sidestepping death altogether, which is remarkable, especially for something without a brain. Here's how it works. The immortal jellyfish begins life as a microscopic larva called a planula. It settles on a surface and develops into a polyp, a branching plant-like colony anchored to the seafloor. From this stage on, small medusae, the free-swimming jellyfish form we recognize, bud off and drift into the ocean as adults. So far, nothing unusual, just the quiet rhythm of marine life. But when most jellyfish grow old, become injured, or experience environmental stress, their life cycle ends. This one does something extraordinary. It triggers a process called transdifferentiation, one of the most remarkable cellular transformations known to science. Transdifferentiation means that a fully developed cell, like a nerve cell or a muscle cell, can transform directly into a different type of cell. In humans, this almost never happens naturally. In this jellyfish, it's her survival strategy. Its bell shrinks, its tentacles retract, its body collapses inward. Then, its cells reorganize, forming new tissues as the organism reverts back to its polyp stage. Essentially, it presses a biological reset button. Within days, what was once an adult jellyfish becomes young again, ready to repeat the cycle. In theory, this process could continue indefinitely. Scientists are still studying how it occurs. They've discovered that the jellyfish activates genes related to stem cells, cellular repair, and regeneration, processes that also exist in humans, although in a far less dramatic form. Understanding how this mechanism works can transform how we approach aging, recovery, and disease. Not so we can all live forever, but so we can live longer, healthier, and more resilient lives. Because it isn't really a story about immortality. It's about renewal, about repair, about the possibility of beginning again. Of course, calling it immortal is slightly misleading. In the wild, these jellyfish can still be eaten or harmed. Nature keeps things interesting. But the fact that biological age can move backwards at all challenges our assumptions about life. For centuries, aging seemed like a one-way street. No exits, no detours. Yet this drifting creature, only a few millimeters wide, suggests something very different. That, in some forms of life, time is more flexible than we imagined. And that insight, coming from an organism without a brain, is both humbling and inspiring. This tiny creature may never make humans immortal, but it could help us understand healing more deeply, recovering more gracefully, aging more fully. And perhaps it offers a quieter lesson as well, that endings are not always final, that change is part of nature, and that renewal is always possible. A jellyfish the size of your fingertip has redefined the boundaries of life and death, without technology, without consciousness, without even a brain. Perhaps the real lesson isn't that life goes on forever. Perhaps it's that life can always, somehow, find a way to begin again. Thank you.